Hello guys, welcome back to Mindful Monday. My name is Melissa. Welcome to the space where we honour each other's presence. So today I want to speak about presence, and I want to speak about inspirational people and inspiring moments that we all have in our life. And of course there are the challenges that we all face or that we have come through. So this was inspired by a video from a great friend of mine, Clifford Starks, and I know that many of you will be watching his content. But if you have not went over to his channel, please check the description below. I will link the video that he put up this morning. And it really inspired me because I was actually thinking on the lines of the same things. He was speaking about having faith and belief in yourself. And he also spoke about Evan Carmichael because he did an interview with him as well last week. So make sure and check that out also. So I will put two links below for both of those videos. But the thing was, when he was talking about purpose, and I think this is something we've all heard a lot here on YouTube, and many of us, when we think of purpose, we think about something big that we have to achieve in our life, which is right. You know, it's a goal that we set, it's a vision we hold for our future, or we're in the process of creating a future. And again, this is where mindfulness comes in for me, and I started the video talking about presence. And what I want to share is that, you know, this weekend I had an amazing time. I actually left here, Cork, and I went to another city, Galway, and it was for my sister's bachelorette, as they say in the States and elsewhere, but here in Ireland we call it a hen night. And what I found was, when I got on the bus with all these amazing women, you know, that my friends that my sister has made throughout her life, and it's fair to say that she's many other friends also, because she's not living here in Ireland anymore. So these would have been childhood to secondary school friends to university friends. So there was a mix of everybody there, and it was just so amazing the way they all put in a huge effort to celebrate her getting married next year, and, you know, put everything aside, you know, to show up for her. And I've known a lot of these girls myself for many years. And what I found was that even though I was in the moment of the party, and let me tell you, we had lots of drinks, we had wonderful food, there were so many laughs, what I did find was that I was starting to really open up myself to be vulnerable, you know. And I think this is so important. And again, now I just want to bring you back to presence and purpose. And also Clifford was saying your pain is how you find your purpose, and also Evan Carmichael has said that. And what I found was, I was sitting with one particular girl who is actually a cousin of mine, and she's an entrepreneur herself, a very successful young lady who's running her own beauty business, and she actually had organised all this trip for all of us as well, and for my sister. And we were speaking about business, we were speaking about what it's like to be a mom and to create a business. And what I'd learned from her was that obviously she had this presence and this belief in her since she was very young, that this was the area that she wanted to go into. And what I found was, it was amazing. Even though I was there and we were celebrating my sister's party and we were having a great time and great laughs, but I still went back to asking people deep and meaningful questions. So I really want to share here is that, you know, purpose, having faith, and presence, more importantly. Presence for me is when I can be myself in any situation, whether that is a hen night or that's a challenging situation. It's where that part of me, some people call it soul, some people call it presence, that's what I call it. Other people call it like a light. I know Alexandra, she speaks a lot about beautiful souls and light. For me, it's presence, when I can totally be myself 100%, and to step out of my comfort zone, to become vulnerable with people, and to really get to know them on a deeper level, and to see what makes them tick, you know, and also share my own vulnerabilities and my dreams and my inspirations and my visions that are really huge. You know, we all have, anybody here who's creating content, I think, and that has a purpose or has something that they want to achieve, it's usually a very large vision, you know, and we're all in the process of building it. And will we reach it? Maybe not to the size or the level that we have aspired to, but we're definitely setting the stones and getting there. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that the presence in me really shined out, and it really showed me that it doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm always going to be speaking about being present and personal development and books and all the amazing people that I've met here on YouTube. And I remember showing her different channels. Oh, you know, she was saying that she wanted to learn more about her business. She wanted to improve as a person. And I was telling her all the different amazing people that I've met here on YouTube to go over to their channels to listen to what they have to say. I recommended books. And what I found was, even though I had drinks and everything that day, every single person, I actually spoke about mindfulness, or I spoke about something that they were really interested in doing with their life. And I suppose I gave my presence where I showed up, you know, even like I showed up from my own vision, you know, just sprinkling my own little bit of magic or presence on them, you know, and really just encouraging them to really go for the things that they really want, you know. And these conversations, I could say with each one of these girls, I had such a meaningful conversation. Some of them weren't as long as others, you know, it might be only a couple of minutes, but I definitely left them, I feel, thinking about things differently, and also more encouraged to have faith that whatever it is that they want to do, that it is possible. And I suppose that comes from my own presence, because I just want to share that I've had many challenges in my life. And I'm currently going through challenges in my life, but I also have faith, like what Clifford was saying, that I can get through this. And I think the reason for that is because I practice what I preach, you know. I come on here sometimes, I am, you know, I'm really, will say, in the moment, basically. I never script anything. I always say what I'm feeling at that moment, or something that I'm going through myself in my own life, because I really feel that it's life experiences that can help other people to, you know, get onto their path and to learn from other people's mistakes. And, you know, this is something I really want to share more on my channel, because I've had so many amazing experiences and opportunities in my life. A lot of them I've took up, and a lot of them too were challenging, and sometimes I made mistakes, sometimes things didn't work out, and I found myself, as I was saying, even though I was on this hen night, I found myself speaking to random different people, and for some reason they found a source of comfort in me. They were able to open up and share the things that maybe they don't speak out loud about all the time. And I think, you know, I became vulnerable as well, and I spoke up, you know, about the things that too I am have in my life that are challenging me. But I also followed that up with a positive mindset, with I know that I'm strong, I know that I'm going to do things, I know I'm going to work for myself, you know. And especially when I was speaking with my cousin, she's real inspiration. And I don't know if many of you know on this channel, but I come from a long line of people who have worked for themselves on large and littler scales. There were 15 children in my dad's family, and every single one of them had their own business. So for me, like when I speak on this channel, it's not that I'm trying to create just a business, or it is the fact that I've always had the mindset that anything is possible. So I just want to make that clear. And I know that I'm currently working on myself to be able to bring mindfulness out into the world, you know, in a larger scale. And I found for me that YouTube was the best way to go to practice. And more importantly, to practice myself what I preach. You know, everything I share here, I practice on myself, or I practice with people around me, you know. And I think it's so important. But yeah, I suppose I just wanted to share that so that you understand that, you know, it really is true. You become the people you surround yourself with, you know. And I suppose I always had that mindset that things were possible, because the economy here in Ireland was always very tough, as we'll say, when I was growing up. Now things have changed. There are a lot more possibilities. And also with the internet, anything is possible, you know, as we hear many great people speak here about on YouTube. But I remember back in the 80s, you know, when there wasn't money, but I saw my family, my aunts, my uncles get up at 4 in the morning, you know, and get out the door to be at a certain place where they were working. And my grandfather was like that. And now even my own cousins, you know, they all work for themselves. And even the girl I was speaking to on the bus, She opened up her own beauty salon in our hometown, you know. And you know, it's not easy, you know. I'm sure she's had challenges, and you know, she's still building on that business. But what I want to say is that it really is important who you surround yourself with. And from spending that 2 days with those girls, they brought out the best in me, you know, and they brought out the fun in me. I danced, I had a couple of drinks also, which is something I don't do on a regular basis because I have young kids. But I didn't OTT it, I didn't take the piss out of it. Let's just say I hope nobody is offended by the way I spoke there. But I just want you to see the real me, and I just think I'm just so grateful that I was so blessed to grow up in a family. And my mom's family were amazing people too. They're absolutely amazing. They weren't all business people or entrepreneurs, but they all work very hard for what they have, and they're all very wise people, I would say, and they all have great faith also, you know. And my dad's family especially, I mean, for them faith is everything. So I really grew up in a household, I wouldn't say my own initial household. My mother, she was very open, as in, like, I would say more spiritual, more than anything. But my dad and all my aunts, my uncles, they have a fantastic faith, you know, in themselves, in their children. You know, so I really grew up with that, even though I wouldn't have been with them a lot of the time, you know. Obviously it's a large family, you don't get to see everyone all the time, but the people that I have mixed with, they're all doing amazing things, you know. And that's why I've always believed in myself too, that I can do that. And I'm proud to say that all my sisters and my brother, they're all doing amazing things also. And as I spoke about last week, my daughter, she did so well in her state exams here in Ireland. And this week she came home and she brought me more beautiful news. She got honours in her ballet, and she's going on to hard point shoes. So if anybody out there is a ballerina fan or ballet fan, this is when they give you the hard shoes to go on point, which is not an easy thing, because Ivana had been doing ballet since she was 5, but she had given it a break for a couple of years. And then she decided to go back last year. And I really was amazed how she just bounced back. And I have to be honest as well, she's been watching so many ballet videos and ballets, and she's watching all these inspiring people that are dancing, and she really took it on, and she brought it in with her on Saturday. So while I was on the hin night, she rang me and she told me, "Mom, I did it, I got the point shoes." And I wasn't one bit surprised, because I saw her. And it's really true, when you model the masters, or when you're watching somebody, or you're surrounding your mind visually, whether it's here on YouTube or if it's in person, it really has an amazing impact. And I know for myself personally, since I've had my other 2 children who are 2 and 3, I really didn't have a source of socializing outside the home. I couldn't really get out there and do great things, and that's why I came here to YouTube, and I surrounded myself with all the amazing people that I've had on this channel, such as Lily Ma and Clifford Starks, Alexandra, Zach from Tinkshire. I reviewed his book. Also I reviewed Evan Carmichael's book, and he did a little feedback message at the end of that video. I've been truly blessed, and that's just to mention a few. There's Jessica, there's Diana, there's Priyanka, all these amazing people that I really enjoy watching their videos. Even though we're all kind of doing similar things, or you know, sometimes we even speak about similar things, I just love to be able to promote people like that, because for me it's so important that as many people as possible know their worth, know their shine, their soul, their presence, their greatness, whichever way any person wants to describe that to the world. It is so important that we recognize that in each other too, because it's not easy to come on here and speak, you know, and give advice, because we also have to practice that ourselves in our own lives, whatever scale it is, on a little scale or a large scale, you know. So what I wanted to get through here is that if you have a purpose, or you have faith in yourself to do something, you know, it really is about trying to surround yourself, whether that's visually here on YouTube, or the people around you, or looking into yourself more importantly. Who am I, and why you want to do the great things you want to do, you know. And it's amazing how you can connect the dots, You know, when you speak with the right people, and you notice as well that you start speaking about it. No matter what situation you're in, or no matter what party you're at, you will find that you really speak about the things that matter to you. You know, and I shared a room with another lovely lady, Siobhan, and she's a teacher in my hometown. And you know, I also spoke to her about different things. And you know, one of my goals is that mindfulness, not only mindfulness but self-awareness, is something that will become a curriculum. You know, that will be in every school. This is my mission, this is my idea, this is my hope, you know, that I will make some sort of an impact in the world, that it will become a normal thing, that people are taught how to be personally and self-aware, whether they want to do that through meditation, personal development, through books, but at least to be offered that in an education system. It is something that needs to happen. And I've spoke about this with Zach from Tinkshire. He prior, you know, many times on his videos, and I'm aware he is a teacher also. And so it's very important for me that I speak to the right people. So I'm very careful with who I connect with, because I really want to connect with people who have their own vision but also can see my vision, and you know, hopefully that they also can help me to get my message out there. It's so important. So as I shared this room with this teacher, which it wasn't me that chose it, she didn't choose it, it just was destined, you know. And you know, I was really looking at her and seeing how amazing she is of a teacher. And I was thinking, you know, at some point that I will go to her and ask her, can I go and speak in her school, you know, once I have my workshop finished up, for free, you know, and go and speak to people about how important it is to be self-aware, how important it is to be able to manage the challenges that will come in your life. Because let's face it, there is no person who's going to escape a challenge. We all have to lose loved ones. We all are going to have difficult times starting up a business or getting the job that we want. We're all going to have these transitions in life where we leave school, no matter what the age of the person. And these days, people go back and study at any age. So it's not about even just getting it at a young age. Yes, that's important, but there are also people who are changing their careers in their 40s, in their 50s. I've seen it more and more. I've done it myself twice. I've been to college twice, and this is my third time studying coaching, mindfulness, and now I've even started NLP. All of these things for me are going to be combined to be able to help people to realize their own potential, to honor their own presence, to really know that no matter what happens, you can't, maybe like what Clifford said, you can't control every situation, but there is one thing you can control, and that is your presence. You can always become still, and you can always have a vision and set goals for yourself, and you know, have a presence about you, that you show up for yourself every single day, even if it's only one thing, by maybe changing something in your diet, working out, or speaking to somebody who is going to help you to stay on gear. There are so many amazing mindfulness practitioners out there. There are so many amazing life coaches out there, health coaches, you know, and there's so many opportunities to be able to get into contact because of the internet now, and at very reasonable prices, to be able to connect to people like this, that if you do feel that you're at a stage where you need to make a change in your life, that it's all possible. How lucky are we? How grateful are we? You know, I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful for everybody who watches my videos, but I'm more grateful that I have the opportunity to be able to come on here and to share my vision with people. And my vision is that no matter what you go through, no matter what situation you're in right now, hold your vision, you know, and make your steps to where it is you want to get to. Whether that is opening a business, whether that is changing your lifestyle, your weight, improving your health, it doesn't matter what it is. It's all possible if you have the presence inside to be able to listen to your gut, to be able to hear your soul, to be able to find your greatness, whatever it is, or to believe and have the faith that you can do it. Because really, if we don't have the will to have the faith to be able to take the steps that we want to do, we're never going to change anybody else out there. We're never going to be able to hold that light for somebody else, because we did not start with ourselves. And this process for me, since I've started YouTube, and prior to that, I've been working very hard on myself. you know, and that is how I know that I've changed a lot of limiting beliefs and I've got through a lot of challenges in my life. Some of them were, how would you say, uncomfortable, which is completely normal, I want to say. It doesn't mean that you won't feel the pain when something happens in your life. It could be a breakup, it could be a loss in the family, somebody dies, or you could lose your job. Yes, you're going to feel the pain and you are entitled to that, but don't stay there. What I've always found about myself, no matter what comes up in front of me, I feel it, I speak about it, I become vulnerable, I F up and blind about it, I curse about it if I have to, but I will always find something to be grateful for, you know. And I think that is the most important thing, to have the presence, to know, and the belief and the faith that everything that happens is because of a choice that we made or something that we accepted or a wrong decision, you know, and to be able to hold that and say that we can't always blame God or our environment or the people outside of us. To be able to say we have control of one thing, and that is how we respond. And I think from mindfulness, for me, this was my biggest lesson. You know, how do I choose to respond to this challenge today? Am I going to react? Am I going to scream? And sometimes, let's face it, times challenges and we do react, you know. But what I will say to you, when you start to work on your self-awareness, when you really truly love yourself, when you really truly see the good in even the people that you don't feel comfortable to be around, but you still can find something in them, and you start to understand that maybe this is where they're coming from, and maybe I don't need to put more pain on this person. Maybe I should be the person to shine my presence out, and hopefully they will take something from that, you know. Because I think any person will say, you know, if you're in a situation with a friend or a parent or a loved one and they hurt you, we'll say, okay, that's the way we speak as human beings. They hurt me, they betrayed me, they said something that doesn't make me feel good about myself. You have to realize that every single person has their own journey and have had their own challenges, and they are coming from the place where they are right now, you know. And a lot of the time, those things that they say, or when I say from the place where they are right now, sometimes it can be that they have these limiting beliefs of things that happened to them 10 years ago. It could be 20 years ago, it could be 3 years ago, but they're still holding on. And this is another part of mindfulness. It's a great teaching to be able to surrender, to let go, even when the shit hits the fan. And it may take you a week, it may take you a month to be able to maneuver your mind, to get the mindset straight, to be able to keep reminding yourself that you can be strong and you can get through the challenges in life. It's so important to be able to have a strong mindset, even when you go through the shit, even when life throws you lemons, you know. And as they say, you know, even out of that you can make lemonade, you know. And I think that, yeah, it takes a certain individual, it takes a strong mindset to be able to stand up and stand out and become vulnerable and own every little bit of crap, even if it wasn't created solely by them, you know. But to be able to say, yes, this has happened, but this is either going to make me or break me. And, you know, the strong people realize that, as Clifford has said earlier on his video, and if you've missed that, as I said, make sure and go and watch it. You have a choice to make to create a purpose out of your pain. Maybe you could share that with somebody else to help them navigate more smoothly in their lives, or you can stay there and let it you know, destroy you. You know, you can react, you can go out there and numb it, you could go out there and, you know, put plasters over it and pretend that you've dealt with it. But really, in order to get through anything in life, we really have to feel it, we have to see it, and then we have to understand that we have the will and we have the light, the presence and the greatness within to be able to get through it, and to know that we're all born the same, you know, different backgrounds, different countries, but we all have presence, we all have strength. It's just about, can you hear it, can you see it loud enough to be able to break through the challenges, you know. And I think that's all I really wanted to say here today. And even at the end of the night on this sin party, I just want to say I got an amazing conversation with a total stranger, and the conversation got so deep and so amazing that the girls, they had all, I think, moved on somewhere else, and one girl had come back and she'd asked me, are you coming? And I said, you know what, I'm going to finish this conversation, because it was very late in the evening, and I had decided that I was going to go back to the hotel anyway. And I had said it to my sister earlier on that evening that I will probably leave a bit earlier because I was very tired, from being at home with children and I'm busy, and that the whole all-nighter thing wouldn't really be my style. But I ended up spending hours upon hours speaking to this person. And I felt so great when I walked away from it because I know that I made a difference in his life. And he's now a new subscriber of mine. And I'm not going to say his name, but welcome to my channel. And I hope that you do the great things that you told me about. And that you realise that you have everything in you to make all the changes that you really want to make. And I got home anyway that evening in a taxi. And there was an amazing man driving the cab. And again, I started speaking to him about different topics, about my evening and how I felt I'd made a difference. And he said he was so grateful that he had carried me back to the hotel. And he said he'd also pop by my channel and watch my videos. So, it wasn't about gaining subscribers. It was about making a difference. Just every little step I took. Because you have to realise as well that I don't really go out because I am more homebound because I have young children. So the only difference I could ever make, which I'm very happy about, was through this medium of YouTube. But I can tell you, the minute I got my leg out the door this weekend, even though it was all about my sister, it was all about celebrations, and I lived it up to that. I celebrated her, I honoured her for the amazing young woman that she is, for all the amazing things she's done. She's in Australia as well, and she's got an amazing job. She manages many people in the company that she works for. Very, very smart young woman, just like my other two sisters and my brother. And she's an amazing man, and he's also an amazing human being. So I'm so grateful and proud of her, of where she is, who she's become, and I'm so excited to see what else she will do. But as I said, even though all of those things I knew, and I was very happy to be there and to be able to witness her have such a good time and feel the love of all these amazing people that were surrounding her. I also got to meet another group of people. There was a rugby team that stayed in the hotel, and there was another stag night. We say stag night here, but it's actually a bachelor party. And there was also amazing people in that, What I learned from the rugby players is that they have great focus, and they were there as well celebrating their friend. But they all put on their jerseys, they were proud of what they represented, and they got on the bus, lots of them with sore heads, I'm sure, but you could see how driven they were by the game, by the game of rugby, and how passionate they were. Even though they were celebrating their friend, they still spoke about rugby and how much they enjoyed it. And the other stag night that we met, our bachelorette party, they were also amazing people. Really, really. And there was one guy in particular, I spoke to him for about an hour, and that was just before I hit the hay, as they say, or go to sleep. And he felt as well that he really had learned a lot from me, and it meant so much to me that somebody had said, oh my God, that really made me think, and you really have changed my mind about a lot of things. He was an amazing human being. But yeah, I'm just so grateful that I get to be able to do that. And not because I'm, at some point this is something, as I say, I feel that it should be in schools, it should be in colleges, it should be in universities, it should be on all levels to reach every person. But even if I don't get to reach every single person, I'm so grateful for the people that I do reach. That their presence matters, that it's okay to slow down. If meditation is your thing, try it, experience it. And I also want to say I met another amazing girl. She used to actually mind Ivana when she was very young, and she was also on this hen party. Her name is Laura's Loves and Luss is the name of her YouTube channel, and she also has a beauty blog. Her name is Lorraine O'Connor, and this girl is so passionate about makeup. And she is working for herself also, and she creates beautiful makeup looks. But what an amazing woman. And when I observed her also, because this is another part of mindfulness, we do tend to observe people, and not in a way that we're analysing. It's more about honouring them in their presence. I saw her pass out makeup to everybody, make everybody feel so good about themselves. Even me, you know, teaching me all the new tricks that are out there these days that, you know, that I wouldn't know about. And even though I love makeup, she's so much more knowledgeable than what I am. And I was so grateful to be able to learn from her also. But what really struck me is that she really was coming from a sense of presence. Even though she was there again at this party, who she really was at the core, this person, a makeup artist, she loves putting on makeup on people. She's amazing clients. There she was again, sharing her purpose on that bus, in the hotel. What an amazing ray, you know. So what I want to say is really about purpose, having faith, belief, presence, light, whatever it is. You really do see the people who are in their purpose by the way they speak about it, because you cannot be in your purpose unless you are talking about it, and you are surrounding yourself, like I said earlier, with either people on YouTube or people in your circle that are also in their purpose. And I can really say that from the mothers that were on that bus that are absolutely amazing at parenting, to the teachers, to the people who are going to travel out to Australia, every single one of them had a purpose, no matter how small or large it was. It was amazing. So I suppose what I want to leave you with this very long video is that we all have a purpose, no matter how large or how small. And it's so important to listen to your gut and see what it is that you think about most that excites you, that you feel passionate about, what you love to talk about, and how you can share that with other people around you. So anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and it gave you a source of inspiration. This was just some of the amazing experiences that I experienced this weekend, and I was so grateful for them that I just wanted to share it with you. So to let you know, no matter where you are, even if it's at a party or whatever, you can always shine your presence and make a difference. No matter what area you're in, whatever it is, even if you're just a stay-at-home mom and you're a great stay-at-home mom, and you know, and you have tips that you want to give to other mothers, you know, because I learned loads of tips as well from fantastic mothers on that bus, you know, that really are A1 mothers, and not only that, but had my back. You know, there was moments where I felt, oh, you know, I think I've had too much to drink or whatever, and you know, looked after me the next day. I mean, just amazing people, you know. So anyway guys, I wanted to share that little bit of inspiration. This video is a lot longer than I thought it would be, but I just wanted to be real with you and share with you something that maybe you can take into your day and find, you know, find time to look into yourself and ask yourself those deep and meaningful questions. Who am I? Who am I surrounding myself with? And what is my vision? And what are the steps that I can take, as little as one today, to get me on the path to finding my presence, my greatness, my soul, my light, whatever it is for you. And that really belief has to come from it. You have to, for sure, have will. And I'm just going to say it one more time, make sure and go and watch Clifford's video today, because he really goes into all of that also. And I'd like to say thank you for Clifford as well, because he's been a fantastic supporter on my channel, and not only that, he's been an amazing friend. So anyway guys, with all that said and done, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, give this video a big thumbs up, and I'm going to give you all a great big kiss. Bye for now, and I shall talk to you soon.